famous people who sadly can't have kids. Number 11. Gabrielle Union. She is one of the more recent celebrities to go public about her struggles to have children. In her new book, she tells us about how she already experienced at least 8 miscarriages while trying to make a baby with her husband, pro basketball player Dwayne Wade. Gabrielle has talked about going through fertility treatments in the past. The surprising truth was the first time she had talked about her not-so-perfect reality. Union has looked deep into her infertility issues, saying, "For 3 years, my body has been a prisoner of trying to get pregnant. I've either been about to go into an IVF cycle, in the middle of an IVF cycle, or coming out of an IVF cycle." She has also said that she never really pictured herself being a mom until her stepchildren changed the way she viewed parenting. Despite being let down over and over again and suffering from the side effects of the treatments, Gabrielle has continued to stay positive. She insists that nothing will stop her from trying to have a baby. She said her and her hubby remain bursting with love and ready to do anything to meet the child we've both dreamed of. Number 10. Elizabeth Banks. In the eyes of the world, it seemed like Elizabeth Banks was rising to the top in the acting world. But what the world didn't know was that her and her husband were having a really tough time trying to start a family of their own. After failing time and time again to succeed at getting pregnant the old-fashioned way, Elizabeth reached out to multiple fertility doctors to find out what was going on and causing her so much stress in the effort to become a biological mom. After some IVF treatments that didn't work, she and her doctor came to the conclusion that she would most likely not be able to get pregnant on her own. According to Elizabeth, the root of the problem came from an issue with her womb tissue and said the embryos wouldn't stick. In a last attempt to have a baby that was biologically both her and her husband's, the couple went on a search to find someone to be a surrogate to carry their baby for them. She has been very open about how taking a chance with surrogacy has changed her life in a positive way. In 2011, Banks was finally able to meet her son, and she named him Felix. Elizabeth is so happy that her road towards becoming a mom was the best choice for her and her family, and she was blessed with her second son, Mangus, with a surrogate as well, 1 year later. Number 9. Jillian Michaels. Hearing the truth about how you can't physically carry a child is never an easy thing to hear. Jillian Michaels has an especially rough time accepting the reality of not being able to conceive. At first, she told the media that she would most likely never become pregnant for the simple fact that she can't handle doing that to her body. Of course, your body changing is a concern for most women. Their fears are pushed aside when they realize that they would be bringing a child into the world and it would all be worth the effort in the long run. And with some help after giving birth, you can get your body back. After finding out some more info, it was clear that Jillian's excuse about her great figure was just a way to mask the real fear. She was diagnosed with a condition called endometriosis, and it would be tough for her to conceive a child. She has admitted to feeling ashamed for her issue, mostly since she is best known for being in tip-top shape. She has made a career and life for herself out of being healthy and fit and showing others how to improve themselves with it. And even though having a medical condition is nothing to feel ashamed about, she decided to skip pregnancy altogether and chose to adopt instead, so she could still be a mother even if it weren't biologically her own. The fitness pro became a mother in 2012 when she adopted her daughter from Haiti, and it didn't take long after that before she became a mom once again, when her partner gave birth to their son. Although she might not have been able to conceive on her own naturally, she is so excited with the way things turned out and is now a proud mom of 2. Number 8. Hugh Jackman. Most people might assume that infertility issues are only things that women deal with, but that couldn't be more wrong. When a couple is really trying to get pregnant, both the man and the woman are equally responsible in the whole process. In Hugh Jackman's case, he and his wife had a hard time when it came to reproducing. He was very open about their experience and how he was still supported through their low times. The actor and his wife tried for many years to get pregnant and had dealt with miscarriages, which made them realize that maybe becoming biological parents just wasn't in the plan for them. Even though pregnancy wasn't something that would happen for them, they had always seen themselves adopting one day. In an interview about their road to becoming parents, Hugh Jackman said, "We thought we'd have a kid or 2 biologically and then adopt. But when we decided we'd have enough of IVF, we went ahead with adoption." Even with all of their struggles that they faced to get where they are today, him and his wife believe that adopting their daughter Ava and their son Oscar was what was meant to happen for them, and they wouldn't change it for anything. Number 7. Kate Walsh. She's mainly known for her roles in popular shows like 13 Reasons Why and Grey's Anatomy. She has also talked about why she doesn't have any children at 48 years old. And it's because Kate found out that she was going through early menopause, only because her sister had told her that it was something she had dealt with and could run in the family. When Kate went to the doctor to get evaluated, she faced the reality of only having one single egg. Kate said she feels like she is failing at life being divorced and as a non-parent when her dream was to be married with kids of her own. However, she now has more time to focus on her work of being an actress and putting her time and energy into the projects she's been working on. But it doesn't seem like she'll be adopting babies anytime soon. Number 6. Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman has been one of the top actresses of our time, with hit movies to her name and pulling in more than $4 billion in box office sales. During her first marriage to Tom Cruise, she had been trying to have kids for years, but it didn't end up happening. They ended up adopting 2 children instead, but the couple broke up in 2001. Since Nicole loved being a mom, she decided to have even more children, and some of her own, so she kept trying for a good amount of time. But after marrying Keith Urban, they ended up having a child through a surrogate. Today, Nicole Kidman has 4 kids altogether. 2 of them were adopted, and others are biological. Overall, she has always been open about her personal struggles and seems to have an open mind about the idea of adding child number 5 into the mix. Number 5, Emma Thompson. Emma Thompson has been a part of some of Hollywood's biggest movies with plenty of classics on her resume. But for a long time, the actress has struggled with a disorder that not many people know about, called polycystic ovary syndrome, that stopped her from having children. She has tried many times to have kids during both of her marriages, but when that didn't work and she had to resort to trying out an IVF, which surprisingly worked and allowed her to get pregnant at 40 years old finally. A couple of years later, she tried having a second child through IVF, but it didn't work out so well this time. Emma eventually gave up trying to have another baby and went in a different direction by adopting instead. She has talked about her struggles in the past and how she was able to deal with it. She has also talked to young women who are in the same situation and who are struggling to have children. Number 4, Celine Dion. Not very many people are willing to talk about their struggles with infertility to the world, especially celebrities who try to avoid the topic at all times. Many people will always avoid rumors or refuse to acknowledge the topic in general, but Celine isn't one of them, because she has gone on to talk about the issues in interviews. After dealing with some setbacks in trying to have a baby biologically, Dion gave birth to 3 children, 9 years apart, and there's been some struggle with each one of them. In the past few years, she has talked about the methods that worked for her and how she ended up finally being able to have kids. She said it was a struggle during her marriage, but they never stopped being positive. She had a dream of being a mother, and she stayed positive and hopeful at all times. Number 3, JILLIANA RANCIC. Although some famous people choose not to talk about their rough journey of parenthood, others have been open books. One celebrity that has been open about it is JILLIANA RANCIC, who has faced obstacles that got in the way of her desire to be a mom. The TV host didn't realize that by the time she decided she wanted a family at the age of 35, that the quality of eggs drastically changes. Along with her age, her low weight was a big reason why she couldn't stay pregnant. JILLIANA went through 2 rounds of IVF that didn't work, and the 3rd try at pregnancy was bombarded when she was diagnosed with breast cancer. To make things worse, the medication that she had to take for the cancer made it even more unlikely to be able to carry a child and wouldn't be healthy if she was pregnant. In the end, JILLIANA and her husband Bill decided a surrogate would be the answer and welcomed their son Duke into the world in 2012. Their journey wasn't easy, but she's very thankful to be able to have a baby of her own finally. Trouble came again when she tried to have a second baby because their surrogate ended up having multiple miscarriages. But overall, she said she's open to adoption in order to grow her family. But for now, her and her husband are both grateful for what they have. Number 2, Jordana Brewster. At one point, Jordana Brewster felt like she might never be able to have kids after so many failed tries, but luckily for her, she found a surrogate who made her feel comfortable enough to go for it and make it happen. She had some doubts, of course, about the whole thing at the beginning, as anyone would, and it took a lot to get her to trust someone with her children's lives. But Jordana is happier than ever to have gone through with the process and now has 2 healthy children. Even though she feels like she missed out on carrying the babies and giving birth to them, she quickly forgets about it when she realizes that she still was able to have children after all, and that getting them through a surrogate was better than never having any biological children at all. The actress has given advice of encouragement to other women going through similar situations, and saying her experience was a positive one that helped her in more ways than just one. Number 1, HODAKOTB. There are not many women who decide they want to become a parent in their 50s, but HODAKOTB is an exception. The Today Show host has been through an emotional roller coaster when it came to wanting to start a family of her own, but she refused to give up her dream of one day having a baby. She has talked a lot about her problems with conceiving a child on her own because of her diagnosis of breast cancer. The treatment and medication were so intense that the disease left Hoda unable to have children. About a year later, her marriage fell apart and they divorced. While most people might fall into depression or feel like life is beating them up, Hoda decided to stay positive by making the goal of becoming a mom a reality. Even though she had made herself as a leading woman on morning television, she was struggling on the inside with her desire to have a baby. She told People magazine, saying, "One of the things in my life I've always wanted to be is a mom." But nobody really knew how serious it was until she actually made it happen. Earlier this year, she announced she had taken initiative by adopting her daughter, Haley Joy. She was so excited and happy that her dreams were finally happening in real life. Even though she could not have children biologically, she never gave up hope and still made her dream become a reality. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.